Hey guys, HDvee here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got some pretty cool stuff to go over. We have some new leak updates regarding Pokemon Legends EA. We also have some new rumors as well for the upcoming Pokemon game. Some Nintendo stuff to take a look at as well. A lot of things to break down and get into today. So if you're excited for the video, as always, make sure to drop a like down below. It's trying to 500 likes. Leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new. With all of that out of the way, let's get into the video and I really hope that you enjoy. So, starting things off, let's go over the latest leak updates. They are coming from none other than Riddler. Now, of course, his track record has been very shaky as of late, so take it with a grain of salt. I'm just giving you the information that he's posted. You can choose to believe it or not. You know, it's completely up for your own interpretation. But this is what he's been saying anyway. So, he started off by saying, well, getting excited for the 30th, never thought they'd begin preparing for it this early. Now, obviously, a lot of people saw this message and instantly were like, oh my god, we're getting new information on the 30th because it is so close to the 30th of June, it's only a few days away. I'm pretty sure that's not what he means by this message. Also, the 30th of June is a Sunday, and we never get news on a Sunday regarding Pokemon. The only time we have, I think, is when Pokemon Scarlet and Violet were announced, but that's because Pokemon Day fell on a Sunday. Normally, we don't get information on the weekend regarding Pokemon or Nintendo or anything like that. So, I think he's probably talking about the 30th anniversary here, which of course is a couple of years away now, but this is why it makes a little bit more sense in that context, because he's saying, you know, getting excited for the 30th, didn't think they'd start preparing for it this early. But on the other hand, like, you definitely think they would be preparing for it this early, because I'm assuming they're working on Generation 10 right now if it is coming out in a couple of years. And according to Riddler, Generation 10 is coming out in 2026. So yeah, that's the first thing they kind of said. The next message, though, is very interesting and obviously kind of more in regards to Legends EA. So he's saying, well, Ikaku, which of course is the code name for Pokemon Legends EA, is not VGC compatible, as you may expected. Reckon other juice squeezed soon. So basically what he's saying here is that Pokemon Legends EA is not going to be VGC compatible. I'm not sure if that means there's definitely not going to be any online battles in the game, but he's saying, you know, as you may expect, because obviously from Pokemon Legends Arceus there wasn't any sort of online battling in that. There was online trading, you can find people's like rucksacks or whatever it was, and you could claim those, but apart from that there wasn't really any sort of online stuff. And so he's kind of saying, you know, as you'd expect from that game, there isn't going to be in Legends EA any online battling either, which is a massive kind of shock to me, because I'm assuming there's going to be new Mega Evolutions in this game. When are we ever going to be able to use them online? It's hard for me to believe that we're going to get Mega Evolutions in Generation 10. Maybe they just go crazy and have every gimmick in it. But let's say, you know, the likely scenario that we don't have Mega Evolutions in Generation 10. You know, when Generation 5 remakes happen, are they going to have Mega Evolutions? Potentially, Auras did, but most likely not. And then after that, they'll probably do like a Generation 6 remake, but that's not going to be for years and years and years. So when are we going to actually be able to battle with these new Mega Evolutions that are going to be dropping in Pokemon Legends EA? Let's say your favorite Pokemon, I don't know, let's say Dragonite gets a new Mega Evolution, you really want to use it online, and you just can't. It's a massive shock to me. I generally thought we would probably be seeing some sort of online battle. Like, maybe he's not saying that we're definitely not, he's just saying there's not going to be any VGC compatible, so there's not going to be any like VGC stuff, which is usually the competitive kind of scene in regards to Pokemon battling, so there's going to be none of that. But no, take like Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, for example. That didn't have any VGC stuff, I don't really think. The battling in that was very minimalistic, but it still had online battling. So it might be a similar situation to that. But he's basically saying here, you know, the Legends EA, you know, it's not going to be VGC compatible. But again, he could be wrong. Take it with a grain of salt, as always. Just interpret it in your own words and how you think he means it. And he's also saying, you know, reckon other juice squeeze soon. So he also has been replying to a lot of people as well. So we have Yorodin here saying, yeah, no surprise. I think some people have been coping hard on that, but there was no way that the game would have VGC. But what juice are we squeezing? Is it good juice? People be way too thirsty right now. He's saying, hopefully good juice. Anyway, the good thing is only half a year ahead before some people actually die of thirst. So, you know, I don't know really what he means by this good juice stuff. You know, he's saying hopefully good juice, so I don't know if that means something else is happening. I don't really know, because he's saying reckon other juice squeeze soon. So by that kind of analogy, this other juice squeezing soon, I can't believe I'm even using these words, but obviously it's what he's saying. But this other juice that he squeezed, could be good juice, maybe means that we're getting something, who knows, but, you know, he said so many times that we're not getting something this year. I don't really know what that would be in regards to, but either way, that's kind of what he means by the juice thing. I'm assuming anyway. Hopefully it's good juice, let's see, but yeah, he's saying only half a year ahead before some people actually die at first, which of course is talking about 2025. Moving on, we do also have Purplish Blue Robot saying, I take what you say with an ocean of salt, but I really hope there's limited to no online like in Pokemon Legends Arceus. I want more evolution items that allow me to evolve Pokemon on my own instead of needing to trade. Also means more potential for an experimental battle system. So that's fair enough. That's a very, very good point. You know, Legends Arceus was really, really useful in terms of that situation where we could buy link cables and stuff, and, you know, it allowed Pokemon such as Alakazam, well, Kadabra, should I say, to evolve into Alakazam without having to trade, which obviously is massive. Not everybody does have online, so having that kind of situation is very, very useful. He then goes on to say, though, at least we are sure it will tease something within this year, but better not expect too much. So he's saying here, you know, something is going to get teased about Pokemon Legends EA within this year, you know, but not to expect too much. So again, I'm still kind of backing the idea that we're really not going to get much this year in terms of actual information about this game. I think if we do get a Pokemon Presents in August, I think it's going to show the starters. I think it's going to show some returning Mega Evolutions. But apart from that, I don't think it's going to show much. Obviously, it's going to show a little bit of gameplay, you'd like to think. But in regards to what the game actually has to offer and like the storyline and new Pokemon and stuff, I don't think it's going to show anything like that. I think maybe at Worlds we might get a new Mega Evolution, but I think even that is very, very unlikely. They have announced the game that is not coming out probably until late next year, so they're not really going to be showing us too much this year because they're going to be showing all the good stuff next year to promote it next year. Again, I think they probably revealed this a little bit too quickly, got everybody really excited, but now everybody's kind of a little bit bored about Legends EA just because we absolutely have no idea what to expect from this game. So yeah, we need something. Obviously a new Mega Evolution would get everybody hyped. Just seeing some gameplay, some of that would be very, very useful. But we also have Steelix here saying, you know, at least the stars maybe, and he's saying, yep, their PC goods were produced. So I'm assuming he means the Pokemon Center goods were produced. So what I'm taking from this is if we start seeing certain starter Pokemon getting a lot of kind of promotion and stuff on the Pokemon Center website and just from, you know, the Pokemon main accounts and stuff like that, you'd like to think that that's probably going to be the starters that are going to be for Legends EA. It'd be great if he said what they were, not necessarily what they were. In regards to that would be like a massive spoiler. He probably doesn't even know. But at the same time, just to kind of like hint, maybe just something to say if it is actually from different regions or it is just the Generation 6. I don't know. It's one of those things because then if he says something like that, that gets a lot of people more kind of, well, this is what we know, what we're expecting now. I don't know. It's kind of a weird one. Like, do you really want to get spoiled? Do you want to see in a trailer? I don't really know. It's one of those weird ones. And he's saying, oh, nice, interesting. Should we expect news before Worlds? I don't expect anything. And kind of looking forward to seeing the community riot. So this is quite bad because Worlds is obviously happening in August. And he's saying he doesn't expect anything before Worlds in regards to trailers and stuff. Does that mean we're generally not going to get a Pokemon Presents this year? That would be the driest spell of Pokemon news ever. You know, we get an announcement for a game in February, and then nothing until Worlds, and then after Worlds, we're probably going to get nothing. Like we might, like generally this year, what we might actually get is literally the reveal trailer, and then at Worlds, like a new Mega Evolution. And then that's it. Like, that would be absolutely awful. But he's also talking about the starters this year as well. So, I don't know. Like, maybe we just get a Presents really late onto the year. Because he's saying that we're going to see the starters this year. He's saying don't expect anything before Worlds. So, unless they drop a Presents after Worlds. So, like, maybe September, October time. Maybe they just change everything. Who knows? But that's the first thing that he kind of was, like, talking about there. But again, as I say, take it with a grain of salt. You can choose to believe what he's saying or not. It is completely up to you. Moving on, he also has been talking about this as well. So we had Blaze Incineroar saying, you know, Generation 10 to be the best functioning Pokemon game. And then Bleed says, literally nobody said it's for the game in regards to this original tweet, where he doesn't talk about the game. He just says they're preparing for the 30th. But then he actually clarifies saying, I do mean the game. Lovely employees are hardworking right now. So they are obviously working on Generation 10, which you'd expect to see. It's coming out in a couple of years. There's no way they wouldn't have started that yet. I'm assuming they've probably got like all the Pokemon, like all the new Pokemon laid out, the region laid out, everything like that. And now it's just like it's going to be coming out for the Switch too. I don't see in any way, shape, or form how this game comes out for the Nintendo Switch. It just won't be able to survive it. You know, Generation 9 ran terribly on the Nintendo Switch. Imagine Generation 10 running on the Switch. It's going to be awful. So yeah, you'd like to think it will be made for the Switch too, especially if it's coming out in 2026 when the Switch 2 will be out by then and stuff. So Yeah, he was referencing the game in talking about, you know, never thought they'd begin preparing it for this early, which of course is the Generation 10 game. Moving on, we do also have HDvee here saying no megas for VGC. So that's obviously what I was talking about earlier as well. Like, how are they going to basically make all of these new mega evolutions, but also never really allow us to use them online? And then he says, what about VGC in 27? Sure, they will shine. So this is also a massive... I feel like he's just guessing here, though. I don't think he knows information through to the year 2027. I highly doubt it. I feel like this is more of a guesstimate, but he's saying, what about VGC in 27? So that would mean that a game comes out in 2027 that has mega evolutions, that also has online battling as well. So he's not talking about 2026, so I wouldn't expect to see mega evolutions in the 2026 game, which is Generation 10, but in the 2027 game, whatever might come out that year, maybe it's Generation 6 remakes, who knows, because obviously Legends EA is not a Generation 6 remake. It is not that. It is a completely different game. Like Legends Arceus was not a remake of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl were remakes of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. So it's going to be a similar situation like that with Generation 6 remakes. But basically here he's saying, you know, in 2027 they will shine. So we'll get these new mega evolutions in, you know, 2025, whenever this game comes out. And we're not going to be able to use them online until maybe 2027. That's kind of the timeline. So it's just a really, really slow timeline for Pokemon right now. It's a bit of a shame, but either way. We also have Weird But Cool saying, I was looking back on some of your tweets and realizing how hard you carried DLCs before I came upon something that made me do a, like, thinking emoji. Riddler Coo, did you post this back in November regarding DLC 2 being kind of lackluster, or because you knew 2024 was going to be lacking in-game hype? So this was something that he posted a while ago saying Pokemon community right now, and this was posted on the 2nd of November 2023, so obviously last November, and we actually have him replying here saying, well, actually, you can't know something much earlier when nothing was planned, and this year is definitely a desert year for sure. So we have Riddler Coo saying, you know, this year is going to be terrible, but he also, you know, he's saying, this is what I mean, he just contradicts himself all the time. You know, he's saying, well, actually, you can't know something much earlier when nothing was planned. So he's saying you can't know something before it was planned. But then also in like a message like this, he's saying that we're going to get megas in VGC in 27, they're going to shine. So that's 3 years in the future. Like, surely this is just contradicting that completely. I don't really know. It's hard to say really what he's talking about most of the time, you know, because he does talk in these riddles and stuff. He never really gives us just out and out information. But either way, that's kind of like the latest kind of leaks and stuff about Legends EA. Well, you know, leaks, rumors, however you interpret them. But basically, dry year, like we knew that anyway, but it doesn't look like VGC is going to be coming to Pokemon Legends EA, so no online battling or anything like that, which again is a shame. And they're probably going to be in 2027 and that's when the game's going to come out. And the rest of the stuff that he's kind of really been speaking about is just, like I say, Generation 10 stuff, a little bit of stuff about the starters, everything like that. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, if you were looking forward to online battling with your new Mega Evolution in Legends EA, it does not look like that is going to be the case, which is really, really unfortunate. But you know, it's just been such a disappointing year so far for Pokemon. I'm not expecting anything crazy. But either way, that's that. I just wanted to quickly go over a few more Nintendo things as well to wrap up today's video. We have Stealth here saying, you know, at their annual shareholder meeting, Nintendo says they are aware of all the leaks that have happened and are taking measures to prevent them in the future, employing information security companies and also increasing employee training. So, yeah, gone are the days, I think, of just loads and loads of reliable leakers. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what's happened to Pyoro. I don't think he's ever going to return, really. He's very much kind of shot himself in the foot. He kind of outed his source, and then he's just disappeared. Now, I don't think we'll see Pyoro back. It'd be great if we did, but I wouldn't hold my breath. And then the whole Midori situation as well. Yeah, that's a whole different thing. But yeah, we don't really have an out-and-out Nintendo leaker right now. The only person close to a leak that we have right now is Riddler Coo, and like I say, his track record is completely shaky. And he only does stuff about Pokemon as well. He does a tiny bit about the Switch too when it's in regards to Pokemon, but usually it's nothing about that. So yeah, in regards to leaks for Nintendo, it's looking very, very unlikely. We do also have this as well, which is some good information as well if you are a fan of this game. So we have Stealth also saying that the Falcon president basically confirms that remakes/remasters of Trails in the Sky are coming. It's been going on for 20 years, but at present, the early titles are difficult due to hardware issues, and it's not easy for new users to get into the series. I think there are many people who want to play it from the start of the series. We are currently preparing something to respond to such voices, and we would like to announce it somewhere around the 20th anniversary, so please wait a little longer. And then when is the 20th anniversary? I don't really know when it was, but either way, that if you're a fan of these games, it's looking like they're going to get remade, remastered, stuff like that, which is always good fun. And then finishing things off, we also have this from Oatmeal Dome. So Nintendo shareholders meeting. So the yen is currently weak. So if exchange rates remain the same, the next gen Switch will be expensive. Will it be cheaper only in Japan? We cannot comment on the next gen, but we have no plans to raise the current Switch prices in Japan. So maybe the Switch 2 is going to be a little bit more expensive, a little bit cheaper in Japan. Who knows? Anyway, though, that is going to be everything for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please do consider leaving a like down below. It really does help out. Let's try and hit 500. Leave a comment with your thoughts on anything we covered in today's video. What are your thoughts about no VGC in Pokemon Legends ZA? Like I say, we kind of knew that we weren't really going to get it, but now that Riddler is kind of saying it, it's a little bit like, I don't know, a little bit of a punch in the gut, because these new Mega Evolutions, if we get new Mega Evolutions, are not going to be able to use online in this game, which is a massive shock and a massive shame, but it is what it is. But let me know your thoughts on all that, and then also the Nintendo stuff as well that we covered. But thank you so much for watching. Like I say, if you enjoyed, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, ring the notification bell for daily Pokemon content. Have a great rest of your day, and until next time, peace.